Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Breeze and Bants podcast, episode 27. Today we are joined by Jamie B and Lewis Brooksie. How are we all doing?
Lewis Brooksie.
I'm okay. Had an interesting week. I can't remember what I said last week, but mad week at work. Working in a care home and drove through one of the pipes and flooded the care home. So hit me up if you want any water features installed.
Oh shit, I'm booking a float tank.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh nice.
Yeah.
That's
I
cute.
just remembered that, yeah.
But no, it was I'm all gravy ready. Do you know how it is? Like mad day at work today, long hours, but yeah, we're here.
You're not gymming it at the moment, Jay?
I went to the gym as well.
Good man, yeah.
Went
Chuck
to
that
the
in
gym.
there.
Looks like it. I've dropped 3 kilos since last podcast.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a big shit.
Not from your gob.
Fasting.
Yeah. Huh?
Fasting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What in the middle?
18-6.
Yeah.
Decent.
18 hours.
8. Oh yeah.
Eat for 6. So 11 p.m. till 5 p.m. fast.
I know someone who's been doing that. Yeah.
It's good for your brain as well. Like, because I
Yeah.
got one of the boys I work with, Aiden. He's been doing it for ages, and he's like in real, like he's got no weight to him. He's Aiden Mundy. He does like jiu-jitsu. No. Anyway, he's been like doing it for ages, but it's nothing to do with weight. He just said it makes his mind feel so clear. So yeah, been doing that.
Fair enough. What about you?
Yeah, all good. Busy-ish, as usual, you know. Work don't stop. Working, kids, writing.
It's a life, isn't it?
Like press officer at a local football club as well now, which is like, I like it, but it's heavy when you got to update. Like,
Is that when you
website.
realise like you can't play? You just got to like manage
Oh
it.
mate, I stopped playing at 19. Use music as an excuse. Waiting till I turn 35 so I can start the vets. And
35. Is that how old you are?
no, like I'm
I was
waiting
gonna
to turn
say
30. Well, I look good if I was. Yeah, no, I'm 32 next week.
Oh yeah, I'm 30
30
next week, believe it or
Yeah,
not.
I think
Weird.
when's your birthday?
Same day as yours.
It's the same day. Yeah.
I was going to bring up my birthday and feel like really like, it's
no,
my
sorry,
birthday.
mate.
And I realised, fuck.
Yeah, so I'm waiting for vets football to. Nah, to be honest with you, like football's a funny one. Like I love it, but it's full of funny people. You think
You
that-
can say dickheads.
Yeah, no, it's not like it's just full of like funny people who think that playing local football's like the be all or end all.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you know, I'd never regret the decisions I've made with what I've done in music. Like I'd have had a pretty bog standard football career. Might have picked up like a £20 here and there. Maybe a few
So that was
free
Big's
guys.
music career, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh dear, what a day!
Well,
I might as well leave that. Well, that was a great episode,
Yeah, there we go.
guys.
Cheers, then.
What have I done this week? Not a lot. I've had, obviously, I'd say my visa has arrived in America, so that's good. Obviously,
Get rid,
there
get
was a nice
gone.
Yeah.
inauguration yesterday. You see, Trump got sworn in.
Yeah,
Done
he
all
got
his,
sworn in. Yeah,
Fucking executive orders. Did you see any of them?
yeah.
Fucking loads. I seen
Yeah.
like a Twitter thread earlier, and it's like put a thread of all of it, but it's like they had to put 2. It was nuts. There's so many.
Like the
It's
male
all
and
about Twitter,
female
though, isn't it?
and
It's all about Twitter.
Twitter's come back. Musk has literally
Yeah.
killed the game when it's come to social media. Now that's why Zuckerberg's like opened up Facebook and that, and he's
Yeah.
like said there's
Yeah.
going to be no.
that was
sort
an
of-
interesting podcast. Did you?
Joe Rogan.
Rogan,
Yeah. Because I'd seen all the clips, but it wasn't. When I seen the clips, I couldn't find it, so I kept going back to like the old ones, and I was like, I'm not hearing any of this shit. What's going on? And I realised I was listening to the wrong ones. So yeah, there's that. So before we get into it, as always,
Oh fuck! You're not gonna do this.
you never remember, do you?
Ah,
Right, so basically,
What a day.
if you've ever listened to like the Have a Word podcast or anything like that, they call it Room 102, but I just call it Into the Abyss. And basically, you just got to pick one thing that you would just like to anything in the world that you could just go, right, let's fucking just get rid of it. Get rid of it. So, for an example, I use those new bottle caps because they're shit and annoy the fuck out of me. You know the ones that
What
don't-
ones?
You like the new twist off caps, you know, where they don't come off the top.
What is it like? Fizzy drink? No, I don't really fucking.
So
drink
like when you
fizzy
like you know
drinks
like
that.
you go buy a Pepsi or a Dr Pepper or whatever, the bottle lid they they don't like detach anymore, do they?
Oh,
They
I
stick
get it
on
off,
there.
mate.
Yeah, it does my head in.
like,
It's the
it
most
is hard,
annoying
but
fucking thing in the world.
Yeah, that is annoying, actually.
Like, so that's what I've used before. But anything, Bix?
No.
What do you mean?
I
no?
love life.
You love life. Well,
Yeah,
like-
no. It's I literally haven't got anything this week.
Wow.
I'm trying to think. Like now, Bin's in London, but
Do you
I've
know
said
what
that.
I've realised? Like, you know, when you go to like a public toilet, like a garage, but they've got like the tear out squares. They don't have rolls of toilet paper. You're pulling it out.
There-
in
there's
singular
not
squares,
enough
can't there?
toilets in services.
Yeah, I know, but I said that last
Like-
week. Sorry, mate.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just talked
Like-
about like public toilets, didn't you?
Yeah.
Because Salisbury's getting rid of their public toilets. You seen that, yeah?
Are they
The
actually?
ones in the market square.
Fucking
Yeah,
hell.
and
You
like
gotta
loads of
pay,
other
like,
people
20p
are saying
now.
like, you know, like they won't go out because they rely on going to those toilets.
Especially like
I would
old
say
people
that's
and
tough
that.
shit, but it's not.
Taking a piss in there. That's nuts. Yeah, that's another
Mate, if
thing.
you're in
though.
Salisbury city centre and you
Mm.
want to go in the toilet for free, you got to go to McDonald's and go upstairs to McDonald's.
Yeah,
Like,
but
there's
you
no
got to
where
pay.
Is that the only one? Is that they got? Go and Costa.
Maybe Marks and Spencer's.
Costa.
Cafe
I mean, somewhere like
Nero.
Costa's
Costa.
are
or a-
disgusting though, bro.
Yeah.
Who?
The Costa ones have got
Can't
piss
beat
in
Weatherspoon shitter, mate. Can't beat a Weatherspoon shitter.
Colombia all up on the side.
You know. No, but like, yeah, I'd get rid of that. But also, just thinking about that, you know, the 20p's you have to put in to go to the toilet, like, you know, the ones
Yeah.
you have to pay,
Yeah.
and they don't take card because it's only like 20p. It's fucking bare irritating.
Is that still a thing? I didn't even know that was still a thing.
Yeah, there's still somewhere, isn't there? Somewhere about. But I just used to remember, like, I need a piss in town, and like, you know, the ones at the Sainsbury's car park.
Yeah,
Got to
that
put
one.
20p
I
in,
remember
ain't
that
you?
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're 50 now.
Fucking inflation.
I've never
That's
paid,
inflation
mate.
for
Never
you.
paid.
That's inflation. What about you, Lewis? Anything?
Honestly, probably about 20 things, but I've been sat here while you've been talking trying to think of one. I can't
You
think
can't
of
think
one.
of
That's the problem, isn't it? Any
Yeah.
pressure and people are just like, no, that's fine. All right,
Yeah.
cool. Well, we'll just go with mine this week then, guys. Think for next week. Do better. Cool. So, now we've got Brooksie here.
Inside.
Let's talk Brooksie. Let's centralise
Oh, fucking
Brooksie,
hell.
the centre of Lewis.
I hate talking about myself.
Let's go back
Oh, yeah, go on.
Where it all started.
where it all started.
Jesus Christ.
So obviously you're into like MCing, drum and bass, all that sort of stuff. So what's that like?
Yeah.
How did that start?
It's
Where
quite-
did it all go back to? Like,
the very, very start is really interesting, actually. I went to I changed secondary school. I went to a school called Trafalgar in my in year 10 and 11, and in year 10 they do something called Arts Week, and they have like graffiti artists, DJs, break dancers, an MC, loads of different things.
Was it in Salisbury?
At Downton School,
Downton.
so secondary school.
Oh, there's that many
They
people who
call
have
it-
talent in Salisbury and Downton. Fucking hell.
Well, nah, not really. Like they just have people come. It was really cool, and there was a guy at the time. I don't actually know what his MC name was at the time. I think it was Adapt. Cut a long story short, he's now Wilkinson's MC.
Okay.
But at the time, he was just like a hip hop MC who worked in schools. So he done some like MC workshop, and I wrote a song and then performed it at the school, and then like everyone loved it, so that felt really good. And I then started doing the under 18 nights at the chapel.
When I remember them.
Yeah, they were banging.
Look, the fucking, you'd get like the J2Os, wouldn't you? Feeling like an absolute baller.
Yeah, well, before you were old enough to go, when I was like 12, and I don't know, did you go to the under 18 nights?
no.
No, mate,
No.
when I was like 12, 13, right, so year 7, year 8, I used to go in there, and the smoking ban wasn't in then. So
fuck.
everyone was just in there smoking fags.
Mental, isn't it?
It's like 12-year-old, 13-year-old kids just like smoking fags.
And that's one way to explain Salisbury.
yeah. But yeah. Oh yeah. So at like the age of 15, 16, I was doing the under 18 nights. So like my friends were paying to go and see like Coolio, if you remember him,
Yeah.
Gangster Paradise.
Yeah.
Like met him, and then can you? I don't reckon you'd have been out to. I don't reckon either of you. But Little Chris,
Yeah.
yeah. Checking it out.
Taking
Yeah,
your
mate,
chances.
If you go on my Facebook, one of my first profile photos is me and Little Chris. So he come down to. R.I.P. to both of them, by the way.
Yeah, he died recently,
Yeah,
didn't he?
and
Well, not
Coolio
recently,
obviously
but,
passed away as well.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. So yeah, R.I.P. to both of them. But yeah, little Chris come down and like, yeah, I met some like cool people through that. I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty shit, but it was like, you know, the experience of
It's like
getting
anything,
used
though,
to,
isn't it? Like,
yeah,
especially, but when you start doing things, you like in your head, you're like, "Fucking hell, I'm sick at this."
Yeah.
And you look
Yeah.
back and you're like, "What the?" Fuck?
Yeah.
Even this, even doing
Yeah,
this, when
I
you
know,
look back at
I
the
know.
first few episodes, I'm like, "What the fuck were we doing?"
I know, I went fully in, like, fucking about my mum eating my cum and shit like that. It's fucking weird, isn't it? And,
don't be doing that in the roads.
yeah. That didn't get played at a funeral. Fucking hell. Jesus.
And that's how you get better, isn't it?
Yeah,
Because essentially, if you think, you know, you're great from the get-go, you ain't going to get much better.
Yeah, it does breed like a sort of confidence, I guess, as well. To actually, because if you're too worried that you're shit at something, you'll never like keep at it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, you've got to feel some sense of pride in like being good at it to carry on doing it.
Yeah.
It's like, again, leveling it to this, like the first one we did, because it's the first one we did, and it's very much like I've OnlyFans, right? A lot of girls, their OnlyFans videos, the first one will blow up. But then after that, it settles down. It's because everyone's like, "Oh, what are they doing?" Like the social media aspect. Everyone's like, "Oh, what are they up to? What are they doing?"
Yeah.
And they want to know everything that you're doing.
Yeah.
So we sort of like did that because the first episode was like, "Whoa, 200 people listening! Whoa, whoa, whoa!" 10th episode, why 2 people listening? I'm joking. But like it does settle down, but it does give you a sense of confidence, doesn't it? Like, and then you sort of like push through it and stuff. So that like first bit of confidence, I feel like you have to have that to keep going, and then you improve, and then you can take a look back and be like, that was pretty pony.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, no, I'd agree with that. And to be honest with you, I do believe that, you know, after a certain amount of time, if you're not very good at something, like just
You've got to
something
learn
else,
when to
you
knock
know,
it on the
like-
head,
yeah,
yeah, 100%.
I do get with some things, trying to think of an example, but I can't think of any, because if I wasn't very good at something, I just wouldn't do it. And
Yeah.
that doesn't essentially mean I have to be a winner, but, you know, I have to be, like, competitive.
Yeah,
or, like,
100%.
confident in my ability. But yeah, then like before we turned 18, we did like do like vinyl and that, but by the time we had turned 18, that had like disappeared, like out of the clubs. So it was kind of cool to like have that experience of like
the vinyl days.
yeah. It kind of makes
Different
you kind
era.
of like
Yeah.
clutch onto the last bit of like
So it was like
that
shop
era.
in town, wasn't there?
Yeah.
What was it? Because you took
Stand
me
Up.
there.
Yeah,
Stand
Stand Up,
out.
of course
Yeah,
it
because
was,
I remember when
Banging
Andy
shop.
Bennett.
I got your decks off you, didn't I? Remember we went.
My first pair of decks were Argos belt drives.
Are they the ones that I
Absolute
had?
bad
Yeah.
boys.
That I had off you. I
Tim
think.
had them as well.
Yeah.
DJ Flawless had
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
probably why he's so
bangers.
good at mixing, because he had to mix off that. And
Off
then
them,
when he went
yeah.
on to something else,
Yeah.
it was like, what? Like,
Yeah. And then I had Newmarks after that.
yeah.
I think
It's
they're
like
the ones
step
I had
up,
off
and
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're the ones I had off you. You know.
Never had 1210s, but yeah,
Fucking
I
hell.
had Newmarks.
No, I definitely remember going to that shop 'cause it's just past like near where the Argos, like the Argos
Yeah.
was, isn't it? Past,
You know
like,
Tom Bennett, Trogs? No?
Yeah.
You do know Tom Bennett?
Yeah.
His dad ran it, or owned it, yeah. Andy Bennett. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So shout out Andy Bennett.
hard to come by now, aren't they? Really,
Yeah.
vinyl shop.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there was one in Bargate in Southampton, which
But-
Clip worked in.
Trip 2.
Yeah, that's pretty
Banging.
cool. Oh, I think Junior worked in there as well. Shout out, Korsh.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Banging shop. Absolute bangers.
Yeah, I went in there because we went to Totton College, so we
Really
used to go
small,
down
wasn't it?
there.
Real, like,
yeah.
tiny. Walked in and then you had, like, the...
Oh, can
literally.
you put this on, mate?
Yeah.
Boom, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tim bought DJ Fresh. It might have been louder on vinyl.
Fucking hell.
And on the flip side, it had some mad dubstep song that was like dog noises. But it's actually
Can
quite
you remember
cool.
the nights down in Southampton?
No.
I can't remember who was it.
Paradox.
No.
Do you mean as in the nights that went on there?
No, as
Sorry.
in like the early days where there was Benster and
Yeah. So that was probably in the Guildhall. Yeah, you're talking
I
about.
think so.
Yeah, that was before my time.
Oh yeah,
But yeah,
banging nights.
Caution. Yeah,
Fucking hell.
Benster, which is now Connect. So
Okay.
yeah, he still he performed New Year's Eve for us. He still does sets. Yeah, so from there, Then Icon, R.I.P. again. What a fucking bloke.
Yeah.
His dad passed away, and he got like maybe like 20 grand inheritance or something. And spent about 15 of it on a setup.
Fucking hell.
Fucking hell.
So we were like,
Good investment.
yeah, we were like set up like proper. So yeah, without blowing our own trumpet, that's why when we started, like we were like pretty good. Do you know what I mean? Like it wasn't like, oh, like can we have a set? Like it was like we were ready, we were hungry, we knew what we had to do. We listened to so much of it and worked enough in the like bedrooms or at house parties.
How did that come about though? Like you guys all meeting and stuff.
I mean, it's a really good question. And me, Hazza, D, and DJ Filth all went to primary school with each other since the age of 4, all the way up until secondary. Stuzy went to secondary, all the same age, same as us. And that was at Wyvern. Hazza then went to Burgate. Callum went to Burgate, as in DJ Callis, so he lived in Fordenbridge. Joe lived out Pusey way, and then he went to college with Callum.
Right.
So that was like how it all linked in, and that was probably also why it was successful, because we had people from like out like Amesbury, Darrington Way, like
All
yourself.
different.
Yeah, and
So all their friends were like,
yeah.
your friends
And obviously
so on.
Glenn then become a part of it. Like at first, Jake Madden was like a part of it because he was a year older than us. And like shout out Craze, like he's actually going by the name of Jacob now. And just go and search his music, Jacob with an E on the end. Yeah, he's got a tune on YouTube with Mike Righteous that's got about 153 plays because he has no interest in, you know, he's not doing it for the likes.
Yeah,
he is like, you know, Jake. He is like next level. Like, honestly, shout out Jake because like he is sick. Like he's got
Does a lot of video editing, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, and like he does stuff with like People's Army, which is like Mike Righteous, like other people as well. Shout out Wolfie as well because I know he's involved with that. But look, like he was a part of it. Jake was, and then for whatever, I mean, Jake was always like almost too talented for drum and bass. Like he obviously went down the whole like don't flop route.
Yeah, I remember
and
that,
like it's sick. Like, you know, you could go on YouTube, find good videos of him under the name of Craze. But yeah, when I found this music that he had brought out recently, he had told me he was bringing out a tune with Mike Righteous, but he didn't like send it to me, and I just came across it, and I like honestly, like I was nearly brought to tears. I felt so like proud, like without sounding patronising, because like he was always like the best, and like me and him did have a bit of like conflict because like I was probably taking a lot of shine and like coming across as the person who was like the talent,
like the main guy.
Yeah. I don't want to like, you know, that's just the fucking truth of it. To be honest, people might not want to hear that, but yeah, that's the truth of it. And
but yeah, I can attest to that as well, though, because I feel like whenever like whenever it was like HGC, it was always Brooksie. Like that was always the first name that was spoken. If you would have asked me, like anybody, it would have been like like if you would say HGC, the first name people would have said would have been Brooksie. And again, that's no disrespect to anybody else, but that's just a fact of the matter. That is what was said, you know. So, and you can't control that. No one can control that. Do you know what I mean? So
no, and then so Jake, for you know whatever reason, didn't become a part of HGC, and then Glenn, as in Louder, he was like obviously a bit not that much older. Are you same age as Glenn?
Yeah.
So what are you? 34?
Yeah, 35.
Yeah, so you were like three years older. So he was like almost like seen as like an experienced person, or a bit more experienced than us, and he was like on it, like he didn't have like a crew as such. So we were like, we wanted to have 4 DJs and 4 MCs. Sorry, I've totally forgot to shout out Flawless as well, 'cause he went to secondary school with us as well. So there was me, Hazza D, Flawless, Juicy, and Filth, who were all the same age and all at Wyvern Year 7 together.
Right.
But like we weren't doing music then. Like we didn't even know what drum. Some of us probably didn't even know what drum and bass was. But I've said this on a past podcast. Like Hazza D had an older brother, a guy called Jack Daniel. Shout to him. He's mates with like Toby Nickel, people like that.
Oh yeah.
So that's how I first knew Toby. And they kind of listened to it. So it was like that. Oh my god, like his big brother and that.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
That was sort of how my mates were with like him.
Jamie, yeah.
Weird.
So yeah, that's how HGC started, and like, can't lie, it was really, really good, and we were really successful in what we did. Like, I mean, I don't have no regrets, but it's a shame like we didn't all push on as a collective, because like, if you think of like how things went in the scene, with like how it was like everything become like kind of crew based and that.
Yeah.
Obviously there was already crews like doing their thing, but not really on like an up and coming sense. And
you had like your SAS, your Problem Central,
New Breed,
Base
before
Layers.
that. You're on about like the people who then come TNA, like,
TNA, all them, like,
so but it is what it is essentially. And the reason I left was because one night, like, I had enough of like taking lead on like all the nights, because I just thought as a collective, we always made profit, but we had like a bank account that the money would just go into, and like we weren't really bothered about it. But I just thought like I'm not gonna like constantly be the one putting the work in. So I just said I'm not doing any work for this one, and I think they thought I would just end up doing it, and I didn't.
Right.
And then the event kind of like flopped a bit, and I said like, I think that's me. I was already doing Access, and then just like essentially span off and done my own thing.
Was you running HGC and X? I can't remember. Was it both
Yeah,
alongside
I
one
always
another?
look at HGC like it was like me and Callis running it. So like I'd like shout out him on that. Like he definitely like was a big part of like doing things as well. And like, look, other people did things. Like, I'm not denying that, but yeah, it was just. I remember going to like Sunbeats in Ibiza, and they're like, oh, like it was me and like Chizza, so I was the only like artist from Salisbury out there, and they're like, oh, where's like all the Backstreet Boys, or like, and like there was a few conversations from artists who were like, like, what's their name? Like, we only know like your name, like, or like, and things like just started like going, like that was in the September, and the October was when the event was meant to be, and I just basically said like, look, I'm gonna go off and do my own thing. Flawless and Stuzy were part of that, and I booked all the others anyway. Maybe not so much Callis, because it goes back to that thing where like he probably felt like betrayed a little bit more, because it was like me and him like running the thing. So yeah, went into that. Look, it was amazing. Like, as you both like had
it's fucking
experience.
sick. Like, I was gonna say, like going back to like the music box.
Some of the best nights in Salisbury. Like,
there was that sort of like introduced me
vibes,
to drum and bass properly as well. Like, obviously, I was like.
Do you think that was HGC? How old are you, Josh?
29, nearly 30.
Oh, so you would have done HGC then. Josh would have done HGC.
Yeah, I was there a few times. Like, this is so like for me.
Then obviously Access just like kind of took over from HGC, didn't it?
Yeah, because like for me, I would say like my introduction to drum and bass is obviously like you, Glenn, and all that in your bedroom at Nan's.
Yeah.
Like when I was like staying over on a Friday before you were all going out, like they'd all just be upstairs and that, and then like. I never went to like big raves. Like I never really like went to like big raves, because it was just the people weren't my people.
No, I rate that.
If that makes sense. So like
fully does.
Because I was like, it's weird, because I was like the kid who would like at school would listen to like be listening to like my phone, and it'd have like Slipknot playing, and then like TC and like X-Man and like it was all of that. So I listened to like the music no one else listened to.
Yeah.
Because it was quite niche back then, right? So like,
yeah, definitely.
Drum and bass is always like up until very recently, it's been very niche.
Yes.
So like, it was always like, it makes me laugh now though, because everyone's like, oh, drum and bass, da da da. Do you know any history of drum and bass? Like, do you know anything? Like,
I know.
You know.
Oh, mate, you asked you. I won't say his name, but I was at a rave and he was like, there's Dillinger. And he was like, who's Dillinger? I was fucking hell.
Yeah, like I always like think the first drum and bass tune I listened to was TC Rockstar on your iPod. You know, do you remember like the big black one? I found loads of porn on that. It's disgusting. Because we were going. Did you? Yeah, we were all going to Norfolk Broads one day, and I must have got the iPod off you like a few weeks before, because I always got big as hand-me-downs, you know. And I was listening to his music. I went on videos and there was just bare porn on it. Must have been Grandad, honestly. But anyway, yeah, like it would have been that, and then so like I seen all that, and then. The only nights I've really ever been to are like chapel nights and music box. Yeah, I've been to a few like Southampton with you like once or twice, like years and years ago.
I rate that though, because like
obviously Bournemouth, Southampton
engine rooms on a mission. Yeah,
I've been there like twice, but I just don't do I didn't do the people. Like,
No, I rate that.
I've tried drugs once or twice, and it's not really my thing. So it's like, and that was like quite a big culture in it. Don't even say anything.
Yeah.
So, and it's just like, yeah, I was very sort of different in a sense of like even how I dressed or how I acted. So it's like I only went to like those like music box nights and chapel nights because you were there, and I felt like a lot more comfortable being there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's definitely like a lot of my friends as well. It was a massive introduction to drum and bass as well. Like the music box for sure.
Yeah, what
like,
a time. Shout out Paul Enzo as well, by the way, because like he was such
what a good venue that was.
Such a good like role model for me and probably a lot of other people. But he just taught me a lot about just how to be with people and like, yeah, like, and he just gave me that platform to perform and believed in me and, you know, supported me in so many different ways. Yeah, really got a lot of respect for Paul.
You also ran nights at Voodoo, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I spat like that's when I first started Access. Was probably
that's
because
a really thin one, right?
yeah, it was like next to the chapel.
You spat me down the stairs and
Yeah, God, everyone fell down those stairs.
You remember when the night I got arrested and we fell out big time?
Yeah,
Is it
that one? Yeah,
down the stairs.
Somebody had a kryptonite. Did you hear? Can you remember that? They used to sell like kryptonite. It was like blue, green, red, like pint of like. It was like a shit mix, wasn't it? For like a fiver or a tenner, and probably a fiver. But yeah, it'd get you smashed. But the bloke who ran that, Dave Hancock, who now runs like Tinga, he ran Caboose, he runs Hickson, or is it Nixon? Honestly, sorry Dave, but I haven't been to that one. But Tinga is like a independent Mexican in Salisbury, and it's the best one of my favourite restaurants in Salisbury. And
is that the next to the river? Is it that
no,
one? No,
it's by Salt Lane Car Park. Do you know where that is? No.
Yeah.
Near where the old bus station
used
to be, round the corner from that. It's
right,
kind of tucked away, but it's so you've never been?
No.
Yeah, go. Honestly, it's amazing. But he was like a family friend, and he had this like little 80 cap venue. So I was like, yeah, I'll just like bang some little nights on in there. That was quite cool. You played for me in there,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's decent.
So what happened to? Why did the musical box shut down?
Something to do with the flats or something next to it or something
Yeah.
like that.
I mean, I stopped doing music box before because Rob then took it over from Paul.
Right.
And like essentially it was like no different to the HGC reasons. I could just see my time was done. Like nothing good lasts forever, right? You know, it was brilliant, but it was like, and also I was just like, I was putting on less and less headliner nights, and I was just doing the free entry nights, which I basically took a percentage off the bar and didn't pay any artists. So it was just like no risk. It's not even low risk. It was no risk.
Yeah.
And I'd get like a couple of £100 and be happy. I'd go on my way. But then I started, like, I'd already obviously started doing stuff with Justin On a Mission, but like, and then I was
that a part of the reason why as well, because your booking started to get bigger, or
I mean,
like not bigger.
Justin
like
always
more?
likes to remind me this, and other people. You know, we all went down to play for On a Mission as HGC. We took a coach because we were just like that. Yeah, we weren't like, oh, let's sell loads of tickets so we look good. We just had loads of people who wanted to come, so I was like, yeah, let's put a coach on. But yeah, anyway, we went in there and done that set, and he booked half of us that night, and then he booked the other half on another night, because he's never really been one for more than 2 MCs on the stage at the same time. And he basically, the point I'm making is he gave us all that equal opportunity.
Okay.
And then he always reminds me that you were the one who took it upon yourself to like build on our relationship. And like, you know, that was 12 years ago. So now, like, me and him, like, we're really close, obviously, and he runs Engine Room on a Monday to Friday. He runs all the nights there, so yeah, like, I don't play out loud.
That's a cracking venue as well.
Yeah,
amazing. When we done that Icons.
Yeah, his memorial event.
Unreal.
I think that's where I seen Turner. That'd have been the same night.
Yeah, I did.
Fucking brilliant. I fucking love Turner.
Yeah, what a DJ.
Who did I see with Turner the other day?
Does he
LG from town?
LG.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. This was Turner in like Thailand or something yesterday.
Surely not.
Yeah, I seen it on Instagram.
Oh, is it?
I don't know if he just bumped into him, but he was doing a set with him.
How much did he pay him?
Yeah.
Fair play.
Not Turner. Turno's class.
So we said decisive magic.
Bruv.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, and then where are we at now then? What's going on now with like music wise?
I play for On a Mission a few times a year.
Is that just, and that's only them, or?
I've had other bookings as well, and I would play for other people, but I'm just like, I have my kids every other weekend.
So that's time and a lot of effort, and you know. Yeah.
I don't know, like kind of what Josh was saying a minute ago. Like it's not really like my people.
Yeah.
And like it, like I've done the whole business like side of things of like being, being nice to everyone, to seem popular or whatever. It's all a load of rubbish, mate. Like,
Yeah.
and like it's just full of like, like I was saying you on the way down, Jamie, like I wouldn't even want to be a musician full time, and like that might come across like, well, you wouldn't have the opportunity to anyway, but I do believe that I possibly could if I put my, every single bit of effort into it. But yeah, I think it's full of losers, mate.
Like, the whole scene?
No, not the whole scene. There's loads of good people in it. Like honestly, like on my most recent set, I played with Sub-Zero New Year's Eve, 10 to 11, to like 700 people. Really good set. I've seen Toddler, Rowney, TNT, Rip Raw Newton. Like I've seen all the people, like a lot of nice people, and like it was really good and did a really good set with Sub-Zero. But yeah, sometimes I go there and it's just like I can't deal with the fakeness of like, and like everyone's like on the bag, and like
This is what I wanted to
I'm not
ask.
even on about ravers, like, because
Yeah.
like fair play, like if the ravers like want to do it, like fair fucks, and like look, if the artists want to do it, fair fucks to them. But like I'm not gonna like call him, like say his name, but like there was a very big MC recently who played at an event, and he was with some bird, and that bird was there with my ex-missus.
Right.
And it was cool. Like she had already said to me, like, but just making you aware, I'm going to go to this rave. Like they're good raves, like you said, good venue. Like it's local, like cool, whatever. And she said to me, "Oh, are you getting the train back? Because if you are, it was like a day event. If you are, I'll come like back with you." Not like that, but
Yeah.
And then this MC comes up to me backstage, and he's like, "Oh, like your ex wanted to like roll with us, but like out of respect, I said like she couldn't, like." And basically, like, wanted me to say, "Oh, thanks, mate." Thanks.
Yeah.
But it was a load of bollocks. She was coming back on the train.
Weird.
And it's
It's just weird.
And like he also like bad mouthed like a big MC who he probably chats highly of online. And like I just man, like look, what you see with me is what you get. Like honestly, like people can believe what they
like
want.
Marmite.
Ah, proper. But I'm actually Marmite about Marmite, you see. Because I wouldn't have it on, like, I wouldn't have it in a sandwich, but I'd have it on toast.
I wouldn't fucking touch it.
So I'm Marmite about Marmite.
Right.
So if I'm not Mr. Marmite,
Who is?
You ever thought about changing the MC name to MC Marmite?
MC
Mate,
Marmite. This is an exclusive.
that would be good. That would be good.
So what, like, this is, I wanted to ask a question, like, you don't have to answer it, because it could be like, I don't want it to offend like people or anything, but like obviously when you're on a stage and you're like doing your thing and you look down and all you see is like a bunch of absolute wreckheads off their barnet, like what do you think? Like,
You actually said this
like,
to me earlier.
because I obviously
Yeah. On the way
you
here.
appreciate they're there, you appreciate they've come to see you and all of that sort of stuff, but like, do you not just sit there and think like, bruv, like, what the fuck are you doing?
So look, when I'm on, normally for an hour, like that hour, like all of those people out there, they're my best friends. Yeah? Because like I'm essentially there to connect the music to them people and make them have the best experience possible. Yeah? So I'll dance about like a twat. Like I don't care how sweaty I get, how I look, if I've got my glasses on or off. Like I am there to entertain people. And so in that hour, like honestly, like if someone was like proper bad, I'd be probably chucking them a bottle of water and seeing if they're all right. Not that I've really had too many experiences like that, but away from it, like New Year's Eve, I got there, went upstairs, sat upstairs, chilled with people like Rowney, Toddler, caught up with them. Really decent people, you know, who've stayed true to their self in this like weird time we're going through, where faking it is making it, and being real is just, you know, like, remember the times when like being different was cool? Like, how in the fuck have we got to a point where like being unique or being different from everyone else is like weird? Like, that's where we're at now.
We're at like a weird stage as well though with that, because I found like, obviously very different, but like, for an example, I've got a Dragon Ball Z poster right behind me, right? I still watch that to this day, right? But when I was like 25, 4 years ago, if I would have told someone I watched Dragon Ball Z still, they'd have been like, what the fuck? But now it's like this niche thing, but everybody does it. It's like this geek culture's like
resurface.
It's like the new like in.
It has its cycles.
Yeah, and it's so strange how like that happens, because like I look.
Yeah, but that's the same with like music though as well, isn't it? Like you have your eras, like your dubstep era, and then like
that didn't last very long,
hardcore.
did it?
Oh no, that didn't last long at all. Then you had hardcore, and then
Drumstep.
well, it was actually at hardcore that went first.
Yeah.
Darren Styles and all them.
Oh yeah, because then it was like jungle, wasn't it?
Then when it was drum and bass, then Chase and Status got fucking huge. Like,
Yeah.
they got signed to Jay-Z's label, and then
Yeah.
they died down a bit.
They were like the first like mainstream, right?
Yeah.
'Cause it was, like,
Yeah, there was
Status,
obviously
DJ
like
Fresh.
there was like obviously tunes like I think Bad Company had one. Look, I'll be honest, I really respect the history, but like I don't know the ins and outs of it. I'm there to entertain people.
Yeah.
I'm not there to like look up every stat or whatever. But there was obviously tunes that Goldie had made and people had made like before. But yeah, I would agree with you that Chase and Status were the first ones. Definitely like since
Because they done that tune with Temper T.
Yeah, and then obviously you had DJ Fresh who did the tune with Rita Ora.
Similar era,
So
and then obviously I think Wilkinson was probably the first number one, which was Afterglow
what a banger.
with Becky Hill, who's like Becky Hill's brilliant because she really represents drum and bass.
Yeah, she does. I listened
She's
to
a
a thing
raver.
she was saying about like when she walked into like her first rave or something like that. It was like Taxman and like I was like, yeah, that's your my era because that's my era.
That's the thing
like
as well,
Generation
like,
Dub, Taxman,
If
fucking.
my daughter said I want to go and see Becky Hill, I'd be like, bang, let's go. Yeah.
Females in drum and bass is like quite big now as well, isn't it? Like that's
Yeah.
massive now.
Yeah, which is great, and you know, but it, you know, like Trump said in his little statement yesterday, not that I want to make it political, but you know, like let's reward people on merit.
Yeah.
So like, as long as like we're rewarding, like there's a sick MC called Stars. They're like they're actually like married. They're called Stars and Deezer.
Oh yeah.
And they MC'd for us on New Year's Eve, like with Rip Raw and Ego Trip, and they're sick. They're like, and like she's insane, like and Wiser, by the way, as well. Shout out her because I've met her and she's like you know when you just like meet people and they like look you in the eye when you shake hands and they're just like
Good energy.
Like she give me that. I knew she had that anyway because she used to work with Younger Fox, who I'd done a lot of MCing with. And yeah, like I ain't gonna lie, I wouldn't want to go back to back with her. But I don't go back to back with a lot of people because like I hate it when it becomes like a competition because like I get that side of things, but that's for like in my opinion that's grime.
Right.
Like grime is bars,
Right, okay.
And like you know,
if
you're working on a set with me, like I'd rather like set you up for you to sound brilliantly than like give you a crap part of the tune.
I found that actually, like, I don't know if I'm saying the wrong thing here, but like, you as an MC seems quite different to a lot of other like MCs that I see, because you're more of an actual term of the MC, as in like you play to the music, if that makes sense.
I also
play for the people.
But it's more
I
like,
also talk about things people don't talk about.
Yeah, and it's more along the lines of like, there's not so much of this just constant bars. Like, do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I find you're actually like there to like MC for the DJ as opposed to MC for yourself. Does that make any sense?
Yeah. Definitely does, and that is kind of hosting essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
And that is when you first start like kind of almost getting the big sets. Like one of the first big ones I done was Mampy Swift. That was like 1 till 2 as well, so it was like main slot. But I know you named a few people earlier, and I was going to jump in then, but I'll save it for like my top 3 sets are probably Camo and Crooked, which I done last year, which they were meant to play with P Money that night.
Not fucking hell.
And like P couldn't make it, and they've literally said, "Oh, we just watched you do that set with Crossy. Like, can you MC for me?"
Oh, sick.
And like they're like from Austria, they're like 5 figures to book, like they're serious DJs, like. And then I've done a set with TC and Jake's.
TC, what a guy! I love it. I love him on socials as well.
So that kind of goes in with what you were saying. Yeah, I love what he does.
Fucking wicked.
But when you were saying about that, you know, Bluetooth era of like TC, like that was also kind of my era. So for me to MC with him, and it was funny because
it was like
Justin
TC clips, them fucking
Justin texts me, he's like, like TC's bringing an MC, but I've told him like you're MCing, but like I don't know, like basically Justin thought I was gonna say like nah, like he can fuck himself, and I said who is it, and he said Jake's, and I was like mate, like do you know who Jake's is? Like of course he can fucking MC.
Yeah.
So me and Jake's went back to back, and then I've done like another. I've done a set with Danny Bird at a festival and had Dat jump on, which was insane because obviously he's like a big figure, and I was quite young at the time, and I thought like I'm just gonna stand back here, and he's like going like this, like I'm his dog, like get out here now, like an MC like with me, which I rated because he was like basically saying like I'm not coming and taking like
you're here too,
your place and shine.
Yeah.
And then the other, I've done a set with Dillinger as well, so like you know, and that was at like an after.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and that wasn't on the Valve, unfortunately, but yeah. And look, I've done sets with like loads with Turno, Voltage, K9, K Motions, like the list goes on, and that is all more than I ever expected.
I was going to say that must be like you must be able to think to yourself
like I said to you earlier, like the little compliments I get are like my dad saying that, or like even my nan has said like like my friend's granddaughter like knows like who you are, and she goes to raves it's cool, mate. Like, and what you said about me being a bit different, like I always have, or I've had people in the past come up to me and go like, I don't really like MCs, but I really liked you. And that's like one of the best compliments you could get. Like, who wants to be liked by the guys at the front who like everyone?
Yeah, fair.
Like, which, like, look, like, props to them too. Like, they're the ones who go in hard, and like, I do love the front row ravers. Like, I really do, and I respect. Like I said, when I'm on that set, I respect all of them. But yeah, like, I went there New Year's Eve, and I performed 10 to 11. And by 20 past 11, I was on the train home.
Yeah. No.
So I just wanted to go home.
Yeah.
Like,
does that make you feel like does that ever make you feel like you're a bit like, not that's it, but is that like,
I don't know, like it
or
goes,
is it just like age? You're just like your family, like you just rather be home doing adult, like for lack of a better term, adult shit.
Yeah, I guess so. Like, I guess like it's been really difficult the last few years. Like, obviously, like COVID was difficult for everyone, and there was a lot of people like who were in that kind of middle bracket, like where they weren't headliners, but they were getting decent money for decent bookings, and I was one of them. And I like am massively, look, I appreciate all of that. Is what I'm trying to say. Like, I used to warm up Chaser Status, Sigma, Wilkinson, Pendulum. At Switch, I was like essentially the main resident MC, and it was insane. Like, you watched me there, didn't you? It was an amazing time. That's where I played with TC as well. But you know, again, things change. We left Switch. We're now back at Engine Rooms, which is a really cool venue. Like Jamie said, you know, if somebody who I really liked and, you know, really, obviously, more importantly, really liked me or liked what I did on stage, said, look, do you want to come and be my MC? Like, you know, I've got all these bookings, let's go and do this. If it worked, like, yeah, I'd definitely give it a go. And I've got, like, music I could release tomorrow. Like,
right.
But I don't know, like, I'm not here for the likes. If you want to see me, like, just come and watch me do my thing live. I'm performing at Engine Rooms at the end of this month. Traumatics like tour, But essentially, like, I ain't even gonna bullshit you. Like, I just messaged Justin like, "Oh, can I perform on this night? It's my birthday the day before. Can you get me a hotel?" And it was like, "Yeah, mate. Yeah, cool."
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
So like, I'm lucky in that sense, but I also believe you make your own luck. Like,
Yeah.
and everyone thinks like me and Justin are like best mates. He's like I think he's about 15. Sorry if you're not, but I think he's about 15 years older than me. So look, we get on because I rate myself in what I do, and like I'm good with business as well. Like if something needs sorting backstage, like I'll just go and sort it, because obviously I promoted myself. So like Upgrade wanted some Red Bull New Year's Eve, and Justin had to pop out to Suburbia, which is another club they run, and I messaged him saying, "Where are you? I need to get Upgrade some Red Bull." And he was like, "Oh no, like, oh, thanks for doing that." And like then like was like, "Oh, do you want me to get you like a bottle?" And I was like, "Mate, I'm going home." Like, saying, like, But yeah, look, I love the music. I have a really cool team on a mission of like normal people, who like live normal lives away from it. Shout out Rip Raw, shout out Newton, shout out Inner as well. Like Inner's like a mad MC, like. So he deserves every good booking he gets. But he's probably, I don't know this, and I'm not speaking for him, but he's probably another one who's like, he hits that point where you're like, it's not actually as cool as I thought. Like, I love it. I love the music. I love performing. I love people liking my music. Like, who wouldn't? But don't want to play in a game.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. Makes a lot of sense. So, like...
So I don't turn down bookings, but I don't
You do it
actively
on your
look
terms.
for
You do it on your terms. Or
yeah, and I don't actively look for them. Like, I've played like Isle of Wight Festival, Bestival, like Mutinies, like after before DJ Hazard and Skibber, like, which is my favourite combo of all time. Like, so like, and that festival, like, we then couldn't get out in the car park, and like we were in front of Big Nasty, so I ended up just like chilling with them. And the next time I played there, when I was with Dat, Paul Chuckle was on stage watching my set with Example, and I walked straight past Example, like, didn't even know who he was, and just was all over Paul Chuckle, because it was like a childhood hero. Like, can't ask for more than that, can you?
Yeah, nah, that's sick. That's fucking... It's mad though, isn't it? Because like, even like when I talk to you, as much as like I know like how well you've done and all that, I'm just like, it's just Brooksie. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's just Brooksie. Like, that is, it's so mad when like
I'm just waiting for my next booking. Like, when Zach says coming back,
That's the only reason they got me on the podcast.
we've locked the doors.
Mate, if I put a night on, there'd be about 10 people there, and they'd be all be artists. Like, I'm just out of touch with it. Like, I've got to give props to Jonesy. I forget what his brother's DJ name is, but they go as Twin Peaks. They like ran a few little nights in Salisbury.
Yeah.
And they've come and played for us. Like, look, props to them. Like, they're trying to do something.
That's the thing. Salisbury needs something, like, it's missing that spark, innit?
Like, if you look at Winchester, which is essentially exactly like Salisbury, Cathedral City, like similar size, similar population, they've never had a drum and bass scene, or they haven't for years, because a medieval city doesn't want that.
Yeah, nah. Like, whereas you look like...
Oh, yeah, because it was like Winchester Shotgun, wasn't it? And
Clip and that,
yeah.
But I don't think they put on nights. They were just known as the
Winchester, yeah. And that was through Foxy.
It was, yeah. Which is obviously younger Foxy. Like, I've stayed at Foxy's house. Like, do you know what I mean? That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
like,
mad.
And like, he is mad. Like, and he's the original. Like, he's the first MC who told a DJ to fuck off. Like, so like,
kiss my shoes, kiss my granny.
Yeah. And out of respect, like, I mean, I don't do like, I say DJ, you say fuck off. I don't do like Ollie. I don't do things like that, because I think they're really easy, like, cop outs of like, mate, just make your own hook.
Yeah.
It's really not hard.
It fucking is for me.
Well, you're not an MC, so it doesn't matter.
You're supposed
I'm struggling with the DJ,
You're to at fucking 8 o'clock in the morning on the phone when he's ringing you up. He's ringing me up, like, giving it all these bars.
I don't want to hear him.
You don't know.
I am sick.
Yeah, like it. You know, I could be sat here in 2 years speaking to you about how I've just done a tour with someone, or I could be sat here saying, you know, I've
With
not
a cardigan on and just
yeah.
hot water bottle and
knitting while speaking.
Because they're not water bottle because it's always cold in there, isn't it?
yeah.
It's really warm, yeah.
Are you
No, I'm not taking a piss.
It's fucking freezing over it.
I know, he always goes on about it, doesn't he?
It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
No, it's not.
So, I was like, obviously, when we spoke before, you talked to me about a bit of COVID, and it's hard because obviously I want to bring it up, but I just don't want to be blocked off YouTube. But fuck it, I don't even care.
There'll definitely be some warnings. No, there won't. Look, it's mad because like I can tie it in with the music as well. Like, did you see when COVID first come about? I done some video. No, like it
Was it on Facebook?
Yeah,
I think I seen it.
It done the rounds. It got like it was probably like. Again, I'm not here for the likes or views, but I think it got like over 10k views. Like Chorms like messaged me off the back of it. Like,
yeah.
GQ shared it. I mean,
Oh right.
the host of all hosts.
Yeah.
So yeah, look. I brought something out that was essentially saying like we're all gonna die. No, it wasn't saying that. it was just a bit like, whoa, scary. I'm asthmatic as well, so. But then as you know, time went on and. Look, it might not have affected a lot of people. Did it affect you in your job? Probably not.
I got furloughed, but I sort of like left a company and joined another. So like when I joined, I was quite lucky because I was literally like, at Forcon for like 2 weeks, and then I got furloughed and I was shitting myself thinking, fuck, company, I'm gonna get let go. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they were really good to us, to be fair, like absolutely phenomenal. So that wasn't too bad. But I think in like effect wise, like. I don't think I ever believed it. I had it, like, and I was ill.
I had it as well, but I don't believe in that shit.
I was ill as fuck though. I was well.
And with the whole trying to get the I got pushed hard to try and get the vaccine. I did not fucking do that.
No, fair
I
play.
did
No
not
comment.
do that. I did it. Yeah, you took
She
one. You
made
got
me get it. Like she was like, listen, I met this bird. She was so fit, right? And she was like, let's go to Greece, and I was like, let's do it. And she was like, you need a vaccine. And I was like, you've got amazing bum and boobs. So, and then she got pregnant. So I mean, if I didn't get the vaccine, I might not have my little boy. So it's been good for one thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you got to take the positives.
And he's got 6 arms, like 4 legs. He's doing really well. Yeah.
No, but like my opinion definitely changed over time. I've always been like kind of anti-government, anti-establishment, anti-listening to anyone telling me what to do. Like I just struggle with that. But and the reason I asked about your work is because I was working at the City Hall at the time, which is like it was the biggest entertainment venue in Salisbury.
Mm-hmm.
So like it was perfect for me because like it was events.
Yeah.
And like you know I went to I worked at a lot of good shows where I'd help you know run the show essentially. It was a great job. So we got furloughed, and then I got made redundant because it got turned into the vaccine centre. But that was all
That's
kind.
how I got my vax.
Yeah, that was all kind of like the council wanted rid anyway. So
Right.
like, a lot of things were like COVID was used as like an excuse
to get
get
rid of it,
yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and like you know, we even like we could have like ran the venue as the COVID vaccine venue. Like we were like they were essentially getting rid of like sound and you know light technicians when we had them. I'm getting rid of them and then bringing in their own.
Right.
Yeah, it was mad. Like
why would you not just employ the people that are there?
the people who ran the venue, and we like even like we planned like you know I had my kind of market. Not that I'd done any nights there, but there was talk of it before it closed down. And then like there was someone who put on like theatre shows, like someone who knew like rock bands. So we had like all these different ideas of how to do shows and do it at like fucking social distancing or whatever bollocks they wanted, and they just didn't want to know. So look,
that goes back to the thing though of what you were saying earlier. It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, exactly. And so look, the reason why people might think, Jesus, you go on about COVID a lot, but it really affected my life. Like my full-time job was gone, and then my secondary income, which was music, and more importantly, maybe I didn't know this at the time, but more importantly, it was like my like therapy almost. Like going out on stage was like me like releasing
Your endorphins.
Yeah,
and all that,
and like just like, mate, the come down is shit. Like, I can't lie. Like, a Monday morning after a really good Saturday or Friday night booking, it is crap. Like, if you've got like a 9 to 5,
yeah.
and it's a bit of a slug. But look, I actually believe like we all need routine, and like, I think it's really key. Like in life, that's why, like, you know, again, like I'm quite open speaking about mental health. Like, when people don't help themselves, like, why are you banging on about mental health if you don't like eat properly, sleep properly, drink properly, exercise is a massive one. And like, we all slack with it, especially when we've got kids. We've all got kids, and
but yeah, if you're banging bugle in your left, right, and centre, and fucking whatever, narcotics, alcohol.
And we've all got bad habits or whatever, but you just got to get that balance, haven't you?
Yeah,
100%. It's like I've said it many a times. Like, my worst habit is energy drinks, or like, and I know they're bad, but I like, as long as I do it, like, drink them responsibly. But nah, like, as long as I know, like, not to like drink too many, I suppose.
See, I'm a sucker for sweets. Sweets, fucking Haribo super mix.
But it could be worse. Like, I always say, like, if like anyone says to me, you drink 2 Monsters a day, cool. I'm not fucking doing this. I'm not doing that. Like, you know,
Or it's like when I go and buy.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
It's like when I go and buy like an expensive like smoothie or milkshake, and someone goes, "Oh, how much that cost you?" And it's like, I'm not going to pub and buying a beer.
Pint,
or
like the same.
Yeah, cost. Exactly. And like, there's many people who sit there and fucking say to you about that, and then they're spending £100 on the ground on the weekend. Do you know what I mean? Fucking. And
like, I've done like a lot of experimented with a lot of drugs and that, like a bit like what you were saying earlier. Like, I would have done it more than you, but I just didn't get on with it and didn't really like it, and like the heavy stuff.
Don't even look at me, bro.
We'll save that one for another time.
Just transforms into like dinosaur.
Fuck off, I got a HGC night. I didn't even get let in. It was my birthday. It was a HGC night. And they let me in the party. It would have been my birthday. Get let in. I had to get a fucking taxi home and right, and turn up at my nan's house. My nan was like, "What's wrong with your arm?" So I was like, "What are you on about?"
I got home and saying, "What have you done to him? Please."
Fuck's sake.
His parents say he fell down the stairs.
And because I wanted to be good at music and like talk to people and not be off my nut, like, I just didn't do it. Like, and I've never really got on with drinking. Like, it's hard to speak when you've had a few beers. So like, when you're trying to MC, like,
and network, because that's a good networking point for yourself. And
I do come across a bit boring, probably, but
I suppose
like,
as well,
it is
like,
what it is, isn't
if
it?
you don't drink often, it's even harder, because like, I find now, like,
definitely,
when, like, before I was with Lena, I was like out a lot when I like every weekend, Friday through till fucking Monday morning, I was still steaming. It was bad, but like, I could go out and drink like pint, and I was still like fine. And now I'll like, we went to Spoons the other day, like, for lunch, and I had 2 pints, and I shit you not, I was getting a bit dizzy. I was like, what the fuck is going on? So I can't imagine, like you say, if you're not drinking a lot, and then you like do a night, and
I mean,
then
even at the football club, if I have like two beers, I mean, 3 would be like, wow, what are you doing? Like, if I had 2, I'd be feeling how you said the other day.
It's
I mean,
nuts.
I do smoke as well. The old marijuana.
God, don't say that in this country. Fucking Jesus Christ.
It's like heroin.
Have the vaccine. We don't have a natural plant,
honestly. They're gonna be like, who the fuck is this loon they've got on? I love it. No, like, and look, I essentially, if someone said, "Oh, like, I just take that habit away from you now," I'd say, "Oh yeah, please do." But I don't smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
I don't drink alcohol. Yeah, I'm trying to justify it, but
no, it's not.
I don't do any of that shit. And like, you know, I'm going through some like therapy at the moment, and I think I've got undiagnosed ADHD potentially. I mean, I don't want to sound like, you know, one of these new school people, but I was just fucking a bit of a naughty fucker and a bit lively.
I was quite similar. I'd say, like, I'm similar in that sense, and obviously we're quite close in age. So like, when I was at school, like, ADHD wasn't a thing, autism wasn't a thing. Like,
you were just naughty.
Yeah, you were just naughty, right?
Yeah. How many naughty kids are fucking actually?
Well, this is the thing.
Yeah,
like,
fully. Yeah.
I would say, like, I've like, because I'm a bit scatty. Like, I can't sit still like a lot of the time unless I'm like really focused. So like this, I can sit still for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
But if I'm driving, my legs are going. And I always found like, because when I used to smoke, is like if I drove from Amesbury to Salisbury, it was 15-20 minute drive.
Yeah.
I smoked 2 cigarettes, not because I needed a cigarette, but because I'm driving and I need to keep busy. So I'm rolling a cigarette and smoking a cigarette. You know.
Yeah.
So I think it's definitely like a bit crazy how now like everyone's got like something. Everyone's on the spectrum, right? Like there's like anyone you meet like younger, they're like, oh yeah, I'm
but
something like.
Yet again, that boils down to as well. We're not helping ourselves with that.
No.
Because you're like kids. Yeah. And I'm bad for it as well. I've got fucking 5 kids, and they're getting McDonald's. They're having chicken nuggets, chips. You know, you're not doing that old school diet where you're having cooked like veg.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, you were lucky. Like those microwave boxes of like fake McDonald's fries.
Supposed to go 2 minute zing ping. Absolute bangers they were.
Yeah, and like things like going to the fair. Like I never did that. Like. Not like, and like, look, we went on nice holidays and like had nice food, had nice clothes, like all of that. But nowadays, every kid expects everything.
They do, yeah.
100%.
And like my daughter, I'm quite lucky. Like if you asked her what her favourite meal is, she probably would say a roast dinner, and she'd talk about like Swede parsnips. Yeah. She'd talk about that. But in the same breath, she'd quite happily, if I said, right, stuff for roast, we're going to McDonald's. Which I don't say, but I have done, and like sometimes we fall into that trap, and then we go, "Why the hell did I just eat that? It was crap."
It's bad after, and I find that like, I went to even like it's not that bad, but I went to Spoons like, the same time I had those pints. It's probably the pints that made me feel like shit, but I literally just ate chicken, but I ate a fucking load of chicken, and when I say like my stomach was killing, it wasn't like
gurgling and all that.
Yeah, like honestly, I just felt like. But I think, obviously, since I started fasting as well, my stomach shrank, but my brain hasn't. Yeah. So I'm still eating the amount I was eating before. And I'm eating, and I'm like, fuck me. Oh, my God. I'm like, literally, like, before you two got here, I was curled on the floor, like, oh, my Lord.
Yeah, like CPR.
It's because your brain's obviously telling you, like, feel that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I know someone I'm really close, I'm not going to, like, name drop anyone, but... Someone I'm really, really close with is doing exactly what you're doing with the fast, and I also know someone who literally did just lemon water for 5 days.
Fuck. Yeah, water fast,
Yeah, and like that was mad apparently, you know, like Dave. Yeah, it's just mad. Like I remember him saying, like, I just found this a little bit interesting. He was like, day 3 or 4, I had some like massive shit, but I hadn't eaten anything, so it just shows how much shit is still in your body.
It's nuts.
Look, I'm not the best of eaters because it's what's convenient, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
we live in a convenient lifestyle. That's why it's like everything's at our fingertips, isn't it? Like literally everything is at your fingertips. So when it comes to doing something that isn't at your fingertips, it seems like such a fucking.
But it's quite scary though that we rely on the people and the government that much. You know.
That's why I'm so excited to go.
If it come down to it, and there was a fucking war and. You know, it would turn into a zombie apocalypse out there. Yeah. Like, and people would be fucking stabbing each other for a fucking sausage roll.
With Greg's one, I'm game. Fucking nah. Like that's why I'm excited to go to like Tennessee because I'm going to be in the middle of nowhere. Like literally relying on shooting dinner. Like obviously I don't have to.
Is that with does your partner's family live in that area?
So
in
they
America?
live in Tennessee.
Yeah, cool.
So like her dad's out hunting every
give it
morning.
10 years and we'll see like him on like a Netflix documentary where he hasn't returned. Like, do you know what I mean? Like Making a Murderer Part 9 or something like that.
But like so like he's up at like 6 a.m. every morning hunting.
Because you said it's quite it's not like populated.
Nah, it's very rural. So it's like a 5-mile road with like 3 houses on. Yeah, like it's nuts, and like they like he'll be up 6 a.m. every morning, go shoot, like get deer in the freezer, and there's dinner. And like I'm not gonna live like that. Like once
you're just going collect the deer when he's shot.
Once I'm sorted, and like we bought a house and that. Obviously, we're not gonna live like that with Grayson, but like I can't wait to experience that side of it, you know, because it's something not a lot of people get to experience that at all.
No.
Like obviously I remember as a kid I like go down and fucking catch a trout and I'd be like, oh dad would teach me how to gut it and you'd cook the trout or whatever. Yeah. That's like cool, but it's
earthy taste.
I was never on that vibe. It's on the Amesbury thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I used
Vauxhall
courses and Catching trouts.
I've had a quarter or two.
Yeah, so like,
See?
yeah, I have as well.
See?
But like, yeah, nah. So it's weird because I suppose going back to like the whole COVID thing as well. That's where like the people like nowadays, like especially the younger lot, were very like much like they say it, we'll do it.
Yeah.
Like on it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
vax, like boom.
Scary.
I think there was a certain
But
age
even like
range.
now, like it comes out like even Zuckerberg was saying
Yeah,
on Rogan's
like,
podcast,
yeah,
like
yeah.
we were so like put like the government was like
Telling us, like,
so
yeah,
much
block
shit.
this,
We
block
blocking
that,
that.
yeah.
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 They had to do it.
But how
And
like
a lot of people like living like that because
Yeah.
they can't make those, they struggle to make those choices.
It's not that they're scared.
Yeah.
When you
and
when you got the media telling you constant negative shit, and that's
Poison.
why
But
I
if you don't
always
listen
go on
to it,
about this.
obviously.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
watch the
no.
news.
I watch
So-
GB News.
No, I don't even watch that, mate.
No,
'cause
quite,
it's
like,
just all
interesting
crap.
sometimes.
It's just my news is a little bit of Twitter, listening to podcasts and finding things out.
Yeah, mine new comes from podcasts, and
I didn't vote,
I don't even know.
and like I know I come across sometimes maybe as like Team Labour, which quite clearly is not in the right team.
What is though?
Exactly,
Yeah.
Josh.
The
So
problem,
that's why I don't
You're
vote.
just picking the best out of a bad bunch.
Yeah, and I do believe they all like are basically one team.
Oh, yeah, they're behind
100%.
closed doors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all wanking each other off.
And
Yeah,
kids,
100%.
weirdos, isn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, sacrificing kids and shit.
Fucking freaks.
But like, yeah, no, it's strange because like obviously with that, like obviously the Labour government's not done great, but like you're saying, they're all in it together, and it's like it's just a control thing, and I think that's what the biggest thing, like what stood out for me about the whole COVID thing was like it was such a like eye opener of how much control they have over like anything.
I think it was a trial, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you were talking about an apocalypse, that's what like I was going to chuck in there. That that could happen, and what they did was they trialed to see how many people would comply, and like just tying it in with when I was going on about I got made redundant. I actually ended up working at the COVID vaccine centre.
Did you?
At the Beehive, yeah, and
Oh,
I was
mad.
I was I was literally testing people.
Fuck
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Which, honestly, it was a piece of piss. It was the
Yeah.
easiest job I've ever had in my life. Some days I'd test like 6 people and I was there 8 hours. Getting paid like all okay money for doing fuck all. I read so many books.
Yeah.
Got paid to like just read books. Do you know what I mean? And they pulled me about a week before. Like they got all the carers
Yeah.
to like get it,
Yeah.
and then they putting pressure on all the NHS staff, or the nurses more so, and basically they got to a point where too many people within the NHS said I'm not having it, so they had to back out of what they said. I think it was April the 1st. They said everyone needed to be vaccinated.
Otherwise, you're
Vaccine.
losing your job. They
Yeah,
gone from
so they-
heroes to fucking.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So they pulled me to the side and they said, "You're the only person on this site who's not had a vaccine. You need to get a vaccine." And I said, "Well, I don't need to do it, and
Yeah.
this isn't like a job for life. So if it comes to it, I won't work here anymore."
Yeah.
But from what I know, it's all going to U-turn. And then 2 weeks later, it fucking did. So I slapped the paper down. And had a great day, smiling at everyone without my mask on. And those masks were fucking awful, mate. I'm asthmatic. Like they caused me more harm than anything.
It's nuts when you were like seeing everybody wearing them as well, and like
Yeah.
what people are
Yeah,
actually
when
wearing.
you like think about what we were doing.
people were
Oh,
going
it's
into shops
fucking-
wearing fucking zip up fucking
no.
suits and shit, and
There
like
were-
I was still on the road like when it like first happened. I was still working, and you would have been as well. So like as I was saying about like the shops and stuff, like people like masking up and stuff. We when we're driving for work, like constantly, like if you need a toilet, the first thing I do is go on my maps. I type in superstore.
Yeah.
So I want like a Tesco's or a Sainsbury's, like a
Yeah.
big superstore.
Yeah.
Mate, the amount of queues, the fucking queues were unreal. I remember
Oh,
queuing
can
to
you
get into
remember that?
B&M.
The
I stood in the
queues used to
queue.
go like that, didn't like.
Yeah, I stood
Yeah.
in the queue at the back, and I noticed, what? That's my mum and sister over there. So we fucking bolted over. Mate, someone went mad.
Yeah.
I'd like,
What are you doing?
People come up to me in the street, like so.
Get away from him.
Literally. So my mate Grant, he listens to this. Big ups. He, Grant Hardy. He used to be mates with Chalice.
Yeah.
Well, is mates with Chalice, but he lived in Durrington. You know the river that goes through. His garden backed onto the river.
Right. Okay.
So you know, as if you're going around a U-bend towards Mum's, there's that little bridge next to the church with the river.
Yeah.
His garden backed onto there, and during COVID, we were like, "Fuck this." We used to have like little gatherings. Do you know what I mean? When we weren't supposed
I
to.
used to remember this. Yeah.
And fucking.
You and your little Freemason gathering.
You'd get fucking. We'd have like a big like fire bin at the bottom and just like play a few like drinking games. Now it'd be like 6 of us, and fucking I'll get arrested.
Like how he put in,
Well, it's like
he said
sacrificing
six,
a
didn't
kid,
He was
like-
like, can't have no more than groups of 6. So he just wanted to get that out there, but there was 6.
YouTube listening. So and then we were drinking and some old geezer was walking by and he just stopped, looked. You're killing people, you know. All this sort of shit. I was fucking steaming. I took my shoes off and walked through the river to try and get to him, bro. It was never happening, but there was times.
Cough all over him.
There was times I was going into a shop and people would literally come up to you and like, you're not wearing a mask. Why aren't you wearing a mask? I'm like, what?
Can you remember how wild people were? Like
It was nuts, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was mad.
But like the benefits, there were some benefits to it, like
There definitely was.
for like nature, especially like when you see
Yeah.
all the rivers
Yeah,
with all
yeah,
the
yeah.
animals and
Well, it was the last time we had a good summer, wasn't it?
yeah,
that was boiling.
It was, yeah. I taught my daughter how to ride a bike. Like, loads of other things as well. Like, I can't lie. When we were doing that mad little thing on a Thursday at 8, when like everyone like clapped their pots and pans, like,
I've definitely done that.
I can't lie. Where I live on like a council estate, it's loads of different roads. Like you can hear loads of houses, and like when everyone started like banging them, I got a bit emotional. Like, I was like, this is quite like cool.
Isn't
You know,
it was
it's that,
like a support community?
spirit,
Yeah,
like, when you
yeah.
saw someone, although there was obviously some idiots who were going right off their heads, when you saw people and you were like walking down one side of the path, they were down the other. Every person you passed did say hi.
Yeah. There was, yeah,
Especially for, like,
100%.
the guy who wears tracksuits. I don't get that much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look at me and they're like, why is he saying hi?
Because they're judging a book by its cover.
Yeah.
That's why,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is another crazy thing. But like, yeah, no, it was just so weird. Like, because it was so many benefits come from it. Like, it was one of the best summers ever. Like, honestly, I had so much fun. Like, the only thing I struggled with was like it was the first time I moved out on my own. It's like literally I moved out like a week before lockdown into that flat in Bulford,
really?
didn't I? So like I'd never been on my own, never lived on my own.
To be fair, we never done a podcast as well.
All right, technical issues, guys. We're back. So yeah, like I moved into this flat on my own, and it was like, yeah, I was in there for a week, and then I'd never been on my own so much, and that's the only thing I found. Like, I was like easily like led into like a false relationship and shit to just for company.
Yeah.
And like I think that's one thing that like I think not affected me, but it was weird in a sense of like it took that experience away from me, like being able to like have my first place on my own and enjoy it and like do all of that. It like
A lot of stress on that.
yeah, and it just took it all away from me. And like, although the COD nights were great as well, because like obviously I know you don't play COD. I don't know if you do, but like I used to like be on Xbox and it'd be like the closest thing to like social like thingy. So it'd be like Warzone had just come out.
You appreciated small things a lot more, didn't you?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
speaking to your friends on COD, if that's.
But
what
it
was.
did make a lot of fucking weirdos because TikTok came about and it made like so many strange people on TikTok like doing weird shit. Because that's when it all really blew up.
Yeah, and
TikTok.
that's why like I probably don't get fucking booked. 'Cause I'm not trying to impress 14-year-old girls.
Yeah.
Like in a corner.
I know not loads of 14-year-old girls, but I know younger girls than me and definitely like all about that. So yeah, nah. But nah.
Probably learnt a lot though, like without even knowing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
especially about yourselves
it
as
must
well.
have been quite hard, like you were saying. So you probably learnt like a lot about yourself and
Cooking, like little bits
Yeah.
and bobs. Like, well, to be fair, I was dieting hard then because I had that little gym set up in the back room, didn't I? So I was like eating chicken and rice every day. So it was actually quite easy
Decent, yeah.
for me to like. Literally, I'd go to Lidl and I'd spend 26 quid. It'd be like Friday night, it'd be pizza night. Other than that, it'd be chicken and rice. Sweet, done. And then I'd get a crate of beer for the Friday, and that's it. Like literally, that was it. It was so good, but so shit at the same time. It was one of them where I was in the best shape of my life, but like I just missed out on so much. It fucking irritates me. to this day. Yeah, it winds me up. Because like
you said, you've got a 9-year-old, right?
Yeah.
So like our daughters would have started reception the year of COVID. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
So yeah, well, Jess would have. So you said your daughter was the same age. So
yeah.
you know, my daughter had reception cut short from like March, and then the next year.
Did they?
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, they did, didn't
But
they?
then some children were allowed to go. Like obviously, if your parent like worked as like a,
Oh yeah,
I'm not going to call them a front line. Like I'm just going to,
Front
you know, a
line, yeah.
nurse or. Like I always tell this as well. I find this quite like a good like little reflection on it. Like my mum works at Waitrose,
Okay.
so like when you go for a job like that, like you never think you're ever going to be a front line, you know, worker.
Yeah.
So like rightly so, all the nurses, doctors, carers were getting, you know, all the props. But you know, when you're a policeman or a doctor or a nurse, you know what you're signing yourself up for. Don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so shout out to all the people like the cleaners and the supermarket workers and all the people who were never putting themselves in a, or never thought they were putting themselves in a position like that. And obviously it turns out that it's, you know, a glorified cold.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, they're trying with that HM fucking whatever it is now, aren't they? That HMP.
They're going to start another one, are they?
Yeah, it's on the way. They're already going on
I
about
honestly
it.
think people won't comply, mate. I just don't.
I don't.
Do you know what?
I think there's going to be riots.
I know just as many people who've had the vaccine who feel like, you know,
I feel sick that I've had it.
Yeah, like they've been wronged by getting it. Like
100%.
someone I'm close with, never smoked, rarely drinks, never done drugs, any drugs, never would have even considered it. Fit guy. He says it's fucked him.
Yeah.
Like he says, he
I
swears
get it all
to
the
me.
time.
And then you're all the
He
time.
swears to me
Like,
he's gonna fucking die by it. I'm
since
like,
I had the
mate, like,
vaccine,
stop, like,
Since I had the vaccine, I get a cold like that, and when I get a cold, I'm like, it's not like a cold, it's like the flu. It's not the flu, but that's the symptoms I get, and I was never like that before. So it definitely, like when I think about like, it's probably one of the biggest regrets, like for me. Like I don't regret a lot in life. Like there's not a lot to regret because it you know makes you who you are.
Yeah.
But like that's had no like it's not made me any better, anything like that. So that's the one thing I can sit there and be like,
Yeah,
I
so
fucking regret that.
Yeah, and like I don't sit here all smug because like why would I? Like why would I sit here smug if like my mum, dad, sister, and other family members have had it? Me and my brother haven't. You know, but like when I research information or find things out, it's because I care about those people who've actually had it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
if they were put in a like when my mum and dad went to Australia for a month in October, we've got family there. And I was going to mention it, like when you said about, you know, if I didn't have my kids, I'd go to Australia tomorrow, mate.
Yeah,
Toby Nickel lives in Perth.
Yeah, he looks
Ashley
like he's
lives in
having
Perth.
a
Yeah,
fucking
And
amazing
my
time
family
as
live
well.
Literally just up the road from them.
Because Craig's gone as well, Craig Collier.
Yeah,
He's in Australia as well, yeah.
Cool.
He's just had
Is
a
he in
little...
Perth?
I don't know, I know he's just
No.
a little baby. I don't know, I can't remember if it's a boy
wow.
or a girl, but he's met a girl, had a little
I
family.
know
And that.
Craig used to take the money on the music box nights.
Yeah.
He'd collect the
Fucking hell.
collect the jackets and all of that.
I'll tell you what, actually, now you're here, shout out to your brother. I met him and I didn't
he's
even
a
know he was
legend.
your brother. And I said to him, I was like, have you ever met Brooksy? Because you remind me of him so much. And he goes, that's my brother. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Because he was dating a girl I'm quite friendly with.
Yes,
so.
yes, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah. So
yeah.
that was
Don't
fucking
need to
mad.
name drop, but yeah, no, I remember. I forget that, and like I bet you got on. Yeah,
Like a
yeah,
fucking house on
yeah,
fire.
he's
In
a good-
fact,
he's-
I got on with him after that ended out more than like.
Yeah.
I was like, fucking hell.
Yeah,
It was just weird.
He's a good bloke.
I remember it was in
You would
Tesco's car
remember,
park.
Like, you would, if you see him, you'd be like, oh yeah, I remember. Like he used to come to the music box all the time.
When he told me as well, I was like, you fucking look like him as well. Like, how did I not even like?
But he
think that?
writes like insane. Like,
Really?
He's probably a better. Yeah, he could probably be like a better performer than me. But like he just, who's he trying to impress?
Yeah.
He just does it because he likes doing it.
No, not 100%. What do you reckon? Call it a pod. On to the next.
Yeah, because I don't know if the mics are a bit dodgy, but hey,
Yeah, we've had a bit of technical issues, guys. So if the last like 20 minutes have been a bit awkward, I do apologise. Any final thoughts? Anybody?
Well, it's gonna have to be a part 2 because I feel like there's so much
definitely.
missed out.
Yeah,
definitely.
it's
I'm
one
all
of them
over
where
that.
like time's just gone so fast.
Yeah, I know.
It's
I
like
talk
flown
too much
by.
as well.
I love it. It's nice to not be
Yeah.
like the central people. I'm just sat here like, tell me more. But nah, I appreciate you coming over. We'll definitely like regular guest spot this one.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to start the pod by saying this, but like, I really like respect you asking me to be the first guest. So yeah, that means a lot, guys. And
We
thanks
threw the
for
olive
always
branch out
just like
first.
being real with me. Like, you know, I'm
100%.
not like close with either of you, but like, you know, you've never jumped on any bandwagon or like made me feel any like different way towards yourselves.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
regardless
Appreciate that.
of what's been said. So like, I really respect that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that
Shows
as
how
well.
genuine you both are.
Well, because I always looked here like I was fucking meant to be saying bye now, but like when like you were like doing the HGC nights and all that, I was always like, you treat me like just a normal person, like, and I didn't expect that because you were like the guy, the guy doing it, and it was like, oh, like we shared the same birthday and that, and it was always like, oh, happy birthday and all this sort of stuff, and I was like, not like weird, but like I was like, oh fucking hell, Brooksy's like being nice to me, and I was like, oh, is it because my uncle's bicker or anything like that? But then obviously as the years have gone on, it's carried on.
As soon as he got through the door, I was like, fucking hell, he's a tight cunt though. He didn't give me a free ticket to get on. He's still not doing the fucking bastard.
Yeah, to be fair, that's poor from me on reflection.
But nah, man.
Nah, it was genuinely just because you were sound. Do you know what I mean? I've had people come up to me in raves and they like all my like social media posts and they're like, Brooksie, and then I'm like, oh, you're right, Mark or whatever, and they're like, how do you know my name?
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
like, come on, like,
Yeah.
I'm only human.
That's why he's an MC and not a singer. We appreciate you coming in, man. As always, if you are watching, check out the socials, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter. We're on it all. Like, subscribe, share it to your friends, your nans, your aunties, your dogs, your cats, everything. Peace out.